Whew. Alrighty guys, it's your boy RickyMoto, welcome back to yet another video. So this video I'm super excited to do because I got myself a brand new helmet. This over here has been my go-to helmet for the past 3 years or so, and it's served me really well, but it's starting to wear down. You know, I know it's getting old. You know, the fabric and whatnot inside is definitely kind of mushing down. It's been about 3 years, and you know, helmets have a somewhat kind of expiration date, so it's about time that I retire this Scorpion XO R1 and move on to something a little bit different. So over here we have a helmet from the brand Ruroc. This I feel like is a pretty underground brand, although it's a pretty well-known and big, you know, helmet brand. It's not something that most people go for. This one's a little bit more unique. The designs that they have are pretty different compared to the traditional helmet setup. And there's also a lot of great features in terms of how they engineered the helmet in terms of protection and safety. It's even in their slogan. You know, on the box it says protection re-engineered. So I'm going to be doing an unboxing today and, you know, setting up my helmet, show you guys all the accessories that I've actually added onto this. The helmet itself was about $600, but then after adding all the extra junk, it came out to closer to like $1,000. And we're going to be building out this helmet so I can use it for motovlogging. So before we get into this video, make sure to drop a like and a comment below for the algorithm. If you're new to this channel, hit that subscribe button as well as turning on the post notifications to see when I upload. So over here we have a nice panel. Let's move everything aside for now. So as you can see, it says Shockwave, sound by Harman Kardon. So that's the same system that is used in BMWs, and I gotta say they sound phenomenal. I do have a Senna 50S, which I'm using on my other helmet, but I decided to get a brand new system that is, you know, within the same brand that fits the helmet a little better. So here's the box, pretty cool. This unit was about $200, which is a little more affordable compared to the Senna options. Alright, so here is the box for the helmet. I love how everything is blacked out. That is like very me. Alright, here we go. We have some more branding in here. Ruroc Atlas 4.0 track. So that's the version that I got. And I also got it in the carbon fiber finish. So yeah, Atlas 4.0 track. Here we go. We have a little accessory kit over here. Cam mount, so this is for the GoPro. Then we have a whole bunch of visors. I actually got the whole entire kit. Now I don't think I'm going to be using every single visor. And then we have the helmet itself in here. And then we have a pin lock insert, which is very useful. I always preach about these. And we have, what is this? Some speaker pockets. So before we go do all the accessories and whatnot, I want to take a look at the helmet itself. So it comes in a really nice baggie like this with the logo on here. Ooh, holy cow, dude. Look at that. Atlas 4.0 track visor. Dang, guys, look at this. Look at that super glossy carbon like that. All these shapes and angles, the spoiler pieces back here. Very aggressive. Never really see this kind of stormtrooper face kind of thing going on. I think it looks really cool. This helmet is DOT and ECE rated, so you're getting the best of both worlds in terms of safety. And I believe, what is this? A British sort of rating as well. Classic D-ring. I actually really like the D-ring setup. There's some helmets that are kind of like clips. I'm not really a fan of that. So now let's take a look at the visor options. So I got a whole set of them. Oh, wow. And it's cool that these visors have a little rubber gasket to prevent all the water coming in and whatnot. Also, it has the pin lock insert adapters, so gold. Look at that. Inside's a little bit bluish tinted. It has a bit of a green hint to it as well, which is kind of interesting. And then the border is like bluish. So really interesting styling here. This one looks kind of chromish, but clear. Yep, so this one is just completely clear, bare bones. And then this one is the blue one. So right here over here it says blue, and it has a very kind of chromatic, bluish, purpley, you know, tint to it, which might be a fun option as well. Then we have a green one. Oh wow, look at that. Kind of has a Charmeleon look to it. Like greenish, purplish, very Joker vibes. And then we have one more over here. This one is red. Yellowy as well, kind of chromatic, as you can see, very rainbow style. So yeah, I'm gonna kind of decide which one I want to use for myself. Let's take a look at the camera mount. This is what I'm gonna be using to shoot my footage. Here we go. Alright, very straightforward. This is everything that comes in the kit. You have the actual chin piece for the GoPro mount with the adapter over here. Then it has a little swivel piece over here to make adjustments, and then the bolt. Over here, we have two little foam pads with some Velcro, which I'm assuming is for the speaker pockets. Take a look at the Shockwave Bluetooth intercom. So slide that out, boom. Our journey begins here. Alright, so here we have a USB to USB-C cable. Have the Bluetooth unit itself over here. Very slim profile. It has a couple of buttons, you know, for your power on, your music controls, your charging cable, etc., etc. Have the speakers. You get your left and the right audio right here. And this has been designed specifically for this helmet, and so that's why it's able to cut down on, you know, all the wiring. It could be very compact. Before we get started, I want to put it on my head to see how it fits. Now I got this in a size small medium, so they do have sizes. They don't do like full small, medium, large. So let's just hope that it fits. It might be a little bit on a tighter side. And with new helmets in general, they tend to be a little bit snug, and you kind of have to break them in. Quite snug in here. It's a little bit tight. I'm assuming I just have to break it in a little bit. It's also very lightweight, which is really cool. I can't see anything with this visor in my face, but you know, this is kind of the view. And all of these like controls, like the visor, very clicky. The straps feel very heavy duty. And even this buckle, this D-ring, is very thick. It's very high quality, very strong, sturdy. I have really good airflow, I notice, with this chin area. I have a lot of airflow. I can breathe really well. So yeah, we're gonna pop this off. We're gonna install the GoPro mount. We're gonna install the Bluetooth system on here. And you know, we're gonna set up all the gear, and then we're gonna go on a ride to see how it performs on the road. So as you can see, we have the GoPro mounted on here. I'm going to be doing another video talking about my GoPro setup, the settings, the ND filter, and all that to get the buttery smooth footage that I have on my motor vlogs. I still have to set up the microphone for the GoPro as well, which I'm going to do last. But yeah, it just went right onto the mount, and the mount just 3M'd straight onto the helmet. It's a very clean setup, as you can see. Now we're going to be moving on to the Shockwave Bluetooth system. Now it is integrated into the helmet, so we don't have to mount it on the exterior. There's actually a panel right in the rear right here. That's why it's kind of shaped like this. It just slots in, and it also has the connections to go to the microphone for the, you know, audio calling, and the speaker pockets that will go on each side. So the back cover is magnetic like that, and then there are two connections over here. There's an antenna as well as an aux cable. These will go to the module itself, so you know, you just match it with the colors, the gold pin and the aux cable. So just connect the gold pin real quick. Boom, aux cable, snap that in. All right, so we're gonna let that sit, and then we're gonna go ahead and install the speakers. So there are two, there's a left and a right. One of them comes with a microphone, and the other one is just the speaker only. So just to make the process a little easier, we can just pull all this stuff out, all the foam, all the lining. This does come with emergency pull tabs, which, you know, it's gonna make it easier to pull out, and also helps with cable management if you're gonna be installing a microphone for your GoPro. I'm gonna pull all the straps through, and then your lining should come out. So now that we have the inside exposed, we can, you know, have a much better visual of what is going on inside of here. So for the microphone speaker, there's also Velcro on the back. So you can just line it up in here. The microphone will go right down here on the right side of the helmet with the Velcro. Stick it on, and then the actual speaker itself, you find the pocket for that. Just like that. And then you have the connection, which will go into the port that is also provided right over here on the side of the helmet. Once you have that done, you go to the other side with just the speaker only. And it's kind of the same concept. You want to plug it in and put it on the Velcro. And the connection is a little bit tight in here. Maybe I can give you guys a better look. So that's the cable. It plugs into the side, then it routes all the way to where the speaker is right over here, and then the microphone over there. Now that we have that done, we can take the Bluetooth module on the back here and just slide it in to here. Make sure, double check that you have the connections all connected onto the actual device. And just like that, we have all of the Bluetooth intercom and system installed in here, and it's very, very bare and empty, so there's not wires going everywhere, which is why I like the integrated system. So this is the Purple Panda lavalier microphone that I've been using on my previous helmet. It comes with an adapter here that will be compatible with the GoPro, and I have the microphone itself wrapped in a foam and some electrical tape. That way it can create like a windscreen. So this will plug into my GoPro mic adapter, and then I'm just gonna kind of tuck all the cables over here, tape it down, and put the microphone somewhere on the side. Now these foam paddings that came with the kit, I don't think I would be using these at all. They're a cool addition if you want extra padding on your speakers and whatnot, but I think I'm gonna be good without them. Alrighty guys, so we just set up the entire helmet. I also changed out the visor to the reddish chrome look. The GoPro setup, I set up the microphone. I just tucked all the cabling inside. The Bluetooth intercom is installed in the rear, and yeah, there's a pretty simple setup. Let's go on a ride and see how this helmet performs in the real world. Alrighty guys, first try with the Ruroc Atlas 4.0 track edition. I have the Bluetooth already going with the music, and oh man, it's a little confusing to try to reach the controls in the back though to do the volume adjustment. That's kind of the one thing I already noticed right off the bat I'm not a fan of. I literally cannot reach the buttons. Alright, we found our first flaw with this helmet. And the thing about the gloves on is that it makes it harder to feel. So I gotta say, the helmet is fairly comfortable to wear. It's very lightweight. It fits a little snug, but there's a lot of space in terms of like, I don't know, where like my mouth and my face, my chin area is. I feel like there's a good amount of airflow as well, but almost too much. Like, it's a good summer helmet because I can feel a lot of air coming in right now. The cheek pads are a little bit tight on my face, so it's kind of squishing my cheeks right now. So talking is a little bit difficult. I feel like I kind of have a lisp going on. But I mean, overall visibility, I'll give it like an 8 out of 10. Is definitely enough to see what's going on in the road. I did also find out that you could adjust the vents on here. Currently I have all the vents open, so that's probably why there's a lot of air coming in. To actually access the vents, it's like on the inside of the helmet for the chin, and it's kind of hard to reach. So like if you're gonna adjust the airflow, you can't really adjust it on a fly. You would have to, you know, take the helmet off, adjust it, then put it back on. And I feel like that's kind of part of, you know, integrating everything into one. You want to make everything kind of clean, not in a way, but also the way things are relocated makes it not as, you know, convenient as normal. So far so good. Visibility wise, like I said, 8 out of 10. Soundproofing is probably, I gotta say, like a 6.5. I mean, yet again, all my vents are open. I haven't really adjusted them, but in terms of just hearing, you know, the outside and just hearing my surroundings, it is quite noticeable. Surprisingly though, as much as I can hear my surroundings, the actual speakers are pretty good in terms of noise cancellation, I think. I haven't really messed around with the audio settings too much, but I know my volume is like set to maybe 50%, so it's not super loud. Even though I'm on 50% volume, I can hear the music really, really clearly, and it's not like the road noise is overpowering anything. I mean, they are also, you know, Harman Kardon, so they're really good quality, you know, speakers. I think Sena's also use Harman Kardon, so, you know, it's pretty comparable. They sound pretty much the same to me. In terms of the initial impressions, in terms of the fitment, I think it's like a 7.5. The main thing about the comfort that I really love about this helmet is there's a lot of space for where your ears go. And the problem with most helmets is that there's not enough space in your ears, and it gets really tight and like crushes your ears, especially if you're someone who wears earrings. Like I have my ears pierced on both sides. If you have a helmet that's really tight on your ear, then it like hurts, you know, you're crushing this piece of metal against your skin. In terms of features, I feel like a lot of helmets are pretty standard with what they offer. Like you get a front chin like vent adjustment, you get the, you know, adjustment on top for the vent, and then depending on the helmet, sometimes you have Bluetooth intercoms and whatnot. So I say features wise is pretty standard. I'll just give it an 8 because, you know, nothing crazy. I do like that it came with a pin lock insert as stock. That is a major plus. I think the only helmet out there in the market right now that has like an adjustable cheek pad is Scorpion, and that's why I initially got Scorpion XO-R1, because that helmet has like a cheek pad adjustment, so I can always loosen it or tighten it depending on how I want it to fit, because it's not like a crazy technology. Like I feel like any company could definitely do that,
but I feel like maybe there's a law or some sort of patent that's going on with them, which probably makes it limited to only their brand. Another thing I want to talk about is the sizing of this helmet. Ruroc does half sizings, so you can't really get a small helmet or a medium helmet or a large helmet. You have to get like a range, and that was a little bit confusing at first because I had to actually remeasure my head to know what size to get. Definitely, you know, make sure if you're sizing, because it's all half sizes and it's like a range. And if you can't really get your size down exactly, if I had to suggest, I would probably go with a slightly smaller helmet versus a slightly bigger helmet. And the reason why I say that is if the helmet is slightly too big, it becomes loose, and if it's loose, then it's not going to really protect you properly. You want your helmet to fit in a way where it's snug. You want it to kind of grab onto your head, and as you turn your head, you don't want it to be flopping around. You know, right now this helmet it feels slightly on the tighter side. And oh yeah, I forgot to talk about aerodynamics. So that is the main thing about this helmet, man. The aerodynamics is next level. It cuts through the wind well, where if you turn your head to check your lane or whatever, you don't feel the wind pushing your head around, and that happens a lot on the highway especially. Now I didn't really get to do a highway run today just because the roads are really packed and I don't really have the gas for it, but you know, just kind of roaming around, and it's very windy today. Like I'm fluttering right now of how much wind there is, and even so, like, the helmet is performing really well with the wind. I don't feel the wind pushing my head around at all whatsoever. And that's also because this helmet is a track helmet. You know, it's designed to be very streamlined, very sharp, with a lot of spoilers and wings and all these angles and stuff. So it really helps with cutting through the wind in a very effective way. I'm gonna have to say the aerodynamics is a straight 9 on this one. That's good. Design wise, a-okay. This thing is solid. That's why I bought this helmet. It looks fire. It's a very unique style where it kind of has like a very stubby nose. In terms of pricing wise, I think the pricing is pretty fair. They're a little bit more in the intermediate to higher end pricing range. So, you know, the helmet itself is about $600. That's kind of the average price of medium tier to high tier helmets. I'd say entry level is around like $300. Mid to high tier is like $500-600, and if you want like professional grade helmets, that's like $1,000 and higher. It's a pretty solid price for what it is. You know, you're getting real carbon fiber. It's extremely lightweight and really high quality. It's a very performance oriented helmet. I'd say it's less about like comfort or, you know, street ability. I mean, this is at the end of the day a track helmet, so I feel like it is more track focused as I'm wearing it. It's a little bit more loud. You know, that's kind of what happens with track helmets. They're not really filled with a lot of padding. You want to be able to hear what's going on the track. That's why you know, they're a little bit more hollowed out. With a track helmet, you want to make it light. You know, by adding all that extra padding and foam, soundproofing, that adds a lot of weight. Now if you're looking for just street use, they do have a street version of this helmet. It looks slightly different. I just like the track version because it looks a lot more aggressive. But yeah guys, overall I gotta say that this is definitely a recommend. It's not the most perfect helmet ever, but in terms of just overall usage and like what I like about it, it kind of outweighs a lot of the cons. Yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like and a comment below. I'll leave a link in the description for, you know, the website Ruroc to purchase your own helmet if you're interested. Also, all the merch information is in the description below as well if you guys want to purchase any new releases and stuff like that. But yeah guys, this is the new helmet, the new setup, the Ruroc Atlas 4.0 Track Edition. It's been your boy RickyMoto, and I'll see you in our next video. Peace.